Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me here today to discuss the importance of working towards peace in the Eastern Mediterranean and the critical role that the 3+1 Alliance framework plays in maintaining security, economic prosperity, and growth in the region. It's an honor to be joined by so many fantastic advocates and leaders from Greece, Cyprus, Israel, and America in this room. And I'm thankful to be able to chat with you about these critical issues. I am a firm believer in the power of diplomacy and understand that cooperation is critical to moving the Eastern Mediterranean in the right direction. The coalition of America, Greece, Israel, and Cyprus can help usher in a new era of peace and prosperity. Our countries share common bonds, common goals, and common histories. But we're also linked together by our opposition to the growing threats we face today. Greece, Cyprus, and Israel share a lot of common values and common interests, especially now as we're facing threats in Ukraine and the Middle East. It is so important to forge ahead and ensure this partnership is stronger than ever before. The world is in the most precarious place since World War II. Russia, China, and Iran, in some respects, their own 3+1 alliance with North Korea, working together in an unholy alliance to destabilize and undermine the United States, Israel, Europe, and the free world. We must combat this malign effort head on and strengthen the bonds that tie our countries together. As a member of the Foreign Affairs and Financial Services Committees, my focus has been just that, ensuring lasting peace and shared prosperity across the globe, strengthening the relationships with our allies, and combating our adversaries. In just 15 months in office, I've already had several bills signed into law designed specifically to advance this cause. The first, the special envoy for the Abraham Accords. As we know, the Abraham Accords is critical towards normalizing relations with Israel and ensuring peace and shared prosperity across the Middle East. Having a special envoy dedicated to that cause, especially in this moment, is going to be critical as we move forward. The second and third bill, the SHIP Act and the Iran-China Energy Sanctions Act, focus specifically on the illicit oil trade between Iran and China and how that is impacting peace and stability in the Middle East. Since President Biden took office, Iranian petroleum sales have increased by $88 billion. These funds are used to fund Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis. We must crack down on this illicit trade. 80% of Iranian petroleum is purchased by China. So this is something that, from my vantage point, has been critical and why I have focused extensively on this particular issue and why it was so critical that those two bills were included in the foreign aid supplemental that we passed just a week ago. It's also why it's critical that we continue to explore and extract gas in the Eastern Mediterranean for our shared economic prosperity and national security of our nations. In addition, as I mentioned last week, we passed a $95 billion foreign aid package to provide lethal aid and humanitarian assistance to Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. As leader of the free world, the United States must lead. We must stand up for freedom, for democracy, for peace, and shared prosperity. We must work with our European and NATO allies to support Ukraine and help them turn the tide against Russian aggression. As I've said repeatedly and many times to my friends and colleagues, Vladimir Putin is not our friend. He is a vile dictator and thug, and he will stop at nothing but to rebuild the former Soviet Union. We must protect Israel, and we must deter China from invading Taiwan. This is a time for choosing on the global stage. It's a time for action. In closing, and I know we will have a discussion, I'm proud to be a member of the House Hellenic Caucus, co-led by my colleague Chris Pappas, who you'll hear from in a moment. And I'm proud to support initiatives led by the caucus to support funding regional cooperative initiatives. We look forward to using the power of the purse in Congress to ensure this cooperation remains a U.S. priority. During my time in Congress, I've been happy to sign on to the caucus's appropriations letters. This letter requests funding for 3+1 assistance through the International Military Education and Training account in the State and Foreign Ops Appropriations Bill. Moreover, I'm proud to focus on Eastern Mediterranean security through my committee assignments. As mentioned, I serve on foreign affairs, as well as both the Europe and Middle East subcommittees, as well as on the Helsinki Commission focused on European security. It's an honor to be covering such critical issues at this time and be able to speak with all of you today, and I look forward to the questions and discussion. Thank you.